Hello again. Here we are again with video number 6. And, well, they really meant it, but they said that there's going to be like 30% more content in Endwalker. I didn't expect I have to make this many. Anyway, let's just get going. Graha, I hope you don't mind us barging into your room for our late night feast. For what it's worth, it did me a world of good to put our troubles to one side, if only for a moment. And yeah, for those who haven't quite caught up yet, the last video basically ended with the Scions in your Warrior of Light's room to kind of like have a brief respite from everything. After you finished your mission in Thavnair and taking down the Tower of Zot, which was also incidentally the first dungeon for Endwalker. So we're just gonna dive right in. Qih, what do you want? Sound the bell, school's in. Qih and Graha were having a pleasant conversation until you barged in. Well, I'm fucking sorry. Alright, let's go. Oh, there you are. Feeling refreshed, I hope? I was about to make my way to the Studium as it happens. I wanted to try and speak with Scholarch Montichaigne. How do you pronounce it again? And thank him for coming to our rescue in the Rostra. As it turns out, he'd come to see us following the hearing, only to find that we'd already departed for Thavnair. Knowing him, he was probably hoping to chew the cud with his former students. Since we're still waiting for Y'shtola and the others, I thought now the perfect time to pay him a visit. Care to join me? Of course. Then it's settled. The twins will be coming too, assuming Alphino can tear himself away from his new toys. I'll let you rally the troops while I go on ahead to Phenomenon. Considering my recent impropriety, perhaps I should avoid showing my face around the Studium for a time. Hello, maid bunny boy. That might be for the best. If the others should return, tell them we will not be long. Sorry, Graha. Yeah, you better stay here for a while, sweetie. Unlike some of the Scions, I am not an alumni of the Studium. As such, I have no acquaintances there I am obliged to visit. And while I would love nothing more than to pore over the many great tomes of Phenomenon, I fear my presence there would stir up more unwanted trouble. So, for now, I will be patient, much as it pains me to do so. Aw, it's okay, sweetie. Pet. It's okay. We got you. Okay. So, we're supposed to go to the Studium, which is right over there. And because we're lazy, we're going to take the other right. I keep forgetting that you have to double click on that thing. So, now that we've reached a milestone in the story, which I'm assuming is a milestone anyway, because of the previous chapter, the previous cutscene, it's just making me wonder, like, what's in store. Wait, I thought I was supposed to go to the Studium. Why is it pointing me somewhere else? Oh, sorry. I'm stupid. Let's go. Back to Valdezia. Whoops, sorry, I forgot something. Forgot my mask, forgot my keys, forgot my wallet. Totally not lost or anything. Oh, over there! They're over there on the side. What the hell? Oh. He's practicing. If Father can master these fiendish contraptions, then so can I. Oh, they're actually like 4 pets. If you think about just hovering around you. Odyssey. Heading out for a stroll? Bitch, we're going to Wendy's. The Scholarch himself was here. In that case, what are we waiting for? I too am eager to see him, though I somewhat dread the thought of visiting the Studium. I dare say our notoriety precedes us. Alphino of all people worrying over his reputation, and at our alma mater no less. Will wonders never cease? You'll understand soon enough. Off we go. Okay, now we go to the Studium. Okay, so... There, okay. Now we go to the Studium. Thank you. Totally not lost, I swear. Wow, okay, okay. Where are you at, sweetie? Alize. See that sculpted picture above the entrance? That's the mark of Thaliak, the scholar, bearer of the waters of knowledge. It's no exaggeration to say that Sharlayan itself is one enormous shrine to him, and that's especially noticeable here in the Studium. Alphino. It feels like only yesterday that I first walked through these doors. He talks like an old man, I swear to God. Cryle. The music turned funny. Why? Here it is. Phenomenon. While I expect you made note of it before, one can hardly miss it. This is the first time you've been here on official business, correct? While most of the space is taken up by the expansive auditoriums, it also houses numerous laboratories, testing grounds for experimental magics, and a host of administrative offices and so forth. As the center of what would later become the Studium, it was established to promote the study of aetherological phenomena, hence the name. Though with aether being a fundamental aspect of nature, its scope expanded to include every conceivable facet of life and even the universe itself. And then, in the 432nd year of the 6th Astral Era, Phenomenon was decreed complete and the Studium officially opened as a place of learning. With a long and storied history, it is without question the world's leading authority in aetherology, the arcane, the occult, astromancy, and countless other fields, standing proud as, he sounds like a brochure, Sharlayan's foremost educational institute! Yay! You always did enjoy giving the grand tour to new students. Oh, so he's... Indeed, I've long since lost track of how many times he has recited that same foppish speech. Such is his undying love for his old stamping ground. He was in top form back then, youngest to enter the Studium, graduated with highest honors in magical arts and aetherology, undisputed champion of the debating chamber. Hold on. You both joined the Studium at the same age, yes? And from where I stand, you're equally prodigious scholars. Nice of you to say, but Alphino actually entered half a year before me, nor did I do well enough to graduate with honors, and I am certainly not the Studium's most notorious master debater. In all respects, have I ever been in his shadow? If nothing else, just remember that this was where the legend of Alphino Levelier began. We should expect everyone to be fully aware of our recent escapades. Hopefully, we'll be somewhat more welcome here than we were at the last stand. I know better than anyone the adoration the student body has for Alphino, and with a bit of luck, it might work to our advantage. Ah, he has a fandom. Well, there's no time like the present. First things first, let's look for Scholarch Montichaigne. Montichaigne? I keep forgetting how it's pronounced. Other faculty tend to frequent their offices, but unfortunately for us, he's fond of wandering wheresoever his whims take him. Let's split up and ask the students if they've seen him. Okay. Oh no. More talky. Okay. Let's go. Handy dandy map, come to me. Excitable student. That was Alphino Levelier, wasn't it? The Alphino Levelier. Oh my god, he has fans. And he's with his sister and Master Baldesin's granddaughter. This can only mean one thing. An event of epoch-shattering proportions is fast approaching. Spread the word. First, can you tell me where the... Oh, sorry. You said you're looking for the Scholarch, yes? Knowing him, he could be anywhere, but Miss Aliapoh should have a better idea. Aliapoh? The Aliapoh? Oh no, of the oh, what? Chloe? Zoe? Oh no. Alize. Let's talk to Alize first. Things were bad enough during our school days, and Alphino's time abroad has only heightened his fame. Or should that be infamy? Look at that. He had his rivals and detractors, of course, though most of them gave that up after his adoring fans set upon them like ravenous dogs. Alphino, on the other hand, never paid them much notice. They were simply beneath him. Oh no. Oh no, his fans. His fans are here. He spoke to me. He actually spoke to me. It's Alphino himself in the flesh. Oh my god. My poor boy. He looks scared. I assure you, I'll tell you all about it after my business with the Scholarch has concluded. The Scholarch? Tell me, my good fellow, does this have something to do with saving the world from catastrophe? Might we turn our attention to Master Lividio's graduation thesis? I too have my doubts regarding our policy of non-intervention. Is it true that your experiences overseas are the reason you have incurred the ire of the Forum? Oh, what I wouldn't give to see you butt heads with those old codgers. My poor baby. Besetted on all fronts. Qih Aliapoh. Are you by any chance related to the two in Idleshire? Are you lost? Wandering off the street, perhaps? Wait, don't tell me. You're a trainee gleaner fresh off the guild ship. I'm right, aren't I? Oh, how silly of me. An orientation is in order. Ahem. Allow me to bid you a warm welcome to Searcher's Meet. I have a feeling she is related to the ones in Idleshire. Let me start with a question. What is the most important thing you'll find in the Studium? That's right. Books. And what's the second most important? Why, that's simple. Everything else. That's what we deal in here at Searcher's Meet. Whenever the students or tutors find themselves in need of equipment or materials, they come to us. If we don't have it in our stores, we send the gleaners off to find it. Honestly, you wouldn't believe some of the requests we get. Eye of Paisa this, tongue of Gigantode that. It's enough to make your hair stand on end, which is possibly what some of our students are trying to accomplish, this being a school of magic and all. As our newest gleaner, you'll have your work cut out for you, but I think you'll find it quite rewarding. I am not a gleaner! The only thing I'm interested in gleaning is information on the Scholarch's whereabouts. I've tracked down many miscellaneous knickknacks in my time, but I'm no gleaner. Fine, I will resist the urge to be sarcastic, because if she happens to be related to the two in Idleshire, it will explain everything. And I can't fault her for that. So what you're telling me is, you're not a gleaner? Yes, that's exactly what you said, isn't it? And you're looking for a Scholarch? I'm afraid we don't have any of those in stock, but I can... Oh, you mean him! She is related to the ones in Idleshire. He was here, but now he's not. I did speak with him shortly before you arrived, though. He said he was on his way to Maker's Meet. Go back the way you came in and you'll see it on the opposite side of the entrance. It's a laboratory of sorts, home to many rare and expensive curios, not to mention alarmingly frequent accidents. If you lose your way, just follow the blood-curdling screams. Ha! In the time it's taken me to tell you all of this, the Scholarch has probably already left. Best of luck finding him. I have a feeling you'll need it. Thanks, I guess. Finding a worthy gleaner is proving tougher than I thought. Maybe I'm not suited to this line of work. Yeah, you can't tell me otherwise that she's not related to the ones in... Idleshire? Idleshire. Level-headed student. Yes, the Scholarch was here a while ago. He offered me advice on my current research project. Though we spoke at length, I don't recall him mentioning where he was planning to go next. When we parted ways, he went down the corridor. Perhaps to one of the auditoriums? Oh no. Okay, okay, I'm on my way. I'm on my way. Montichaigne. Montichaigne. I don't know. Sir? Sir?
Ah, I remember you.
I pray we have not caught you at an inopportune moment. We wanted to offer our thanks for your kind words in the forum.
Not even coffee.
Well, I could hardly let that Inquisition go unchallenged. I've always believed that curiosity should be nurtured, not stifled. Thankfully, a majority of my colleagues agreed. A slender majority, aye, but a majority nonetheless.
Had the vote not gone our way, we would be having a very different conversation, if any at all. Though I'd like to think you would have not given up on our cause. I'm told you paid a visit to the Annex afterwards.
Yes, that's right. I was hoping to speak with the grandchildren of my dearly departed friends Galuf and Louisoix in a less dour setting. But it seems I just missed you. I still...
Oh, sorry.
You must have the patience of a saint, putting up with this lot and their antics. Never mind Matoya's prize student.
Oh, you wouldn't believe.
Luckily, I know a thing or two about managing unruly younglings. If you ever need advice, don't hesitate to ask.
I kinda like him. You just wink at me.
If I may, there is a rather more pressing matter we wish to discuss. What can you tell us of this duty that the Forum must fulfill?
Nothing, I'm afraid. Like all humble servants of the Forum, I am sworn to secrecy.
Like physically.
Or rather, I couldn't tell you if I tried.
Yeah, there seems to be a binding of some sorts, isn't it?
Our duty is of the gravest importance. Furthermore, if the particulars were made public, it would incite widespread panic. As such, those entrusted with this duty have been bound by an enchantment, which prevents us from speaking of such matters without the express permission of the Forum.
How is that even possible?
It's been some time since I last gave a lecture. Please, take a seat.
Oh my god, are we really sitting through this? Like, for real? We are.
We shall begin by reviewing the fundamentals of etherology.
Are we really doing this?
The ether, which imbues us with life, can be categorized into three forms. Two are of the incorporeal sort, the soul and the memory. Can anyone tell me the third?
Are you asking me? Corporeal either?
Yes. Very good.
Oh, thank God.
This is the form with which the layman is most familiar. Consumed by even the simplest of daily activities, and replenished by the food and drink that sustain us, this form of ether is in constant flux. In contrast, the ether that comprises the soul is rarely subject to dramatic change. The same can be said for memory, as the two are intrinsically linked. Picture the soul as paper, and memories as words written upon it. Now, what would happen if that paper was doused with ink? The same type of ether as comprises the memories.
It would blot out everything that was written.
Precisely. We would be unable to recall the memories, and any activities that depend upon them would be hindered as well. In fact, this exact phenomenon was observed on a vast scale not so long ago. And what might that have been?
The Battle of Cartano. Garlemald. The battle... Yeah!
The seventh umbral calamity. The people of Eorzea vividly recall Bahamut breaking free of the Lesser Moon and raining hellfire down upon the realm. But no one could seem to remember the events that followed immediately afterwards.
Because of the massive release of Aether. Oh.
Indeed. To this day, we have yet to determine whether it was an unintended consequence or a deliberate act.
Oh, hey. Don't put it that way.
The enchantment which binds me and the rest of the Forum is based on a similar principle. And yes, it is a contravention of the Sharlayan prohibition against the practice of memory manipulation.
Oh.
Only when a new member is inducted and told of our great duty are they subjected to the process. A necessary evil. You have my word that it would never be used to manipulate the populace?
Now that you bring that up...
I should hope not. But can this enchantment be dispelled and your memories restored?
If 9/10 of our members give their approval, then the process may be reversed. Then, and only then, would we be able to speak freely to others of our sacred duty. Barring that, we must wait until we return to the ethereal sea. For there we will be purified, the blots upon our souls washed clean. And our memories drift apart and dissolve. Rather defeating the purpose, I suppose.
Oh.
But there are those memories that are indelibly etched upon our souls, some believe.
What happens after that?
We are reduced to pure ether, coalesce with that of others, and create souls anew. Alternative schools of thought assert souls remain whole and return to the corporeal world, reborn into another form. Both theories have their proponents. Personally, I consider each equally probable.
Meanwhile, me, with a soul, with a sundered soul.
Well, I think that's enough education for today, now that I've given you some food for thought. Or rather, an entire banquet.
That's cute.
I would remind you that although I'm unable to assist you with certain matters, the resources at my disposal may still be of use to you. I'll arrange for you all to be given the run of Phenomenon. Of course, as associate to our alumni and the students of Baldessian, this privilege is extended to you as well, my friend.
Yay!
Oh, and I suggest you speak with Qih Aliapoh. She's well known among the artisans of Sharlayan, and her network of contacts may prove useful in your search for knowledge. I wish you all the best in your pursuits, wheresoever they may take you.
Well, he seems pleased with himself. You have been granted the run of Phenomenon. If you are game, Qih Aliapoh would put your artisanry to good use. Wait, crafting? Wait. I want to, but I probably should focus on MSQ for now. Alfredo. While Scholarch Montichaigne is best known for his role as head of the Studium, he is said to be one of the finest mages Sharlayan has ever produced. Having seen for myself the ease with which he weaves extraordinarily complex and powerful magics, I have no reason to doubt the claim. Alice? Some of my earliest memories are of Scholarch Montichaigne, actually. He was a close friend of our grandfather. He would come for tea and amaze us with his tricks, much like his demonstration with the paper and ink. He's a huge part of why I wanted to enter the Studium in the first place. Qih, a capital idea. Qih is still digesting a rather hefty portion of food for thought. Well, that's giving me much to mull over. I feel as though we're one step closer to understanding the Forum's true motives, and the mysteries of life itself for good measure. It's funny. I came here with the intent of expressing my gratitude, only to leave more indebted than before. I have a feeling his friendship and support will be a great boon to us in days to come. And on that note, let's head back to the Annex. Perhaps on the way you could better acquaint yourself with Qih Aliapoh, as the scholar suggested, while I share our findings with Graha. Yes, please do inform our cat of what's going on here. What's this? Eh? Where do you want me to go? Baldessian Annex. Okay. I'm going to try not to get distracted. Okay, I'll do all the crafting and everything else later. As much as I am itching to do so. There we go. Okay. Let's just get on with MSQ so that we can, like, unlock different parts in different areas. Finally. A pewter weapon coffer. So is that better than the... what was it? What was the first one? Horse chestnut or something like that? Raha! Oh, back here, huh? Okay. Back into our headquarters. Oh, he's home! Wait, Qih? It seems I've done an adequate job of relaying Scholarch Montichaigne's lecture to Graha. Given his experiences in the field of souls and memories, he had no trouble understanding it. Well, yeah, he did transport our memories over here. You'd better not let your guard down around Qih. One small favor becomes another, then another, and before you know it, you'll be running to the other side of the world in search of a bottle of wine or some other rubbish. That happened to me in ARR and in unlocking the Ivalis raids. I will never forget that. Then again, it might make for a welcome change of pace from your usual heroics, and as the scholar said, it could also lead to interesting discoveries. Don't tempt me like that. Alphino. Estinian returning not long after we departed for the Studium. A shame Studium returned not long after we departed for the Studium. A shame that he missed the chance to attend our lecture with the Scholarch. Or perhaps not. Yo, what happened? Having spent the time in Thavnair, I've yet to fully grasp the lie of the land. The lie of the land here in Sharlayan. Even finding my way to the Annex proved a challenge. Bad with money, but better with directions, I think. I'm tempted to G-pose right now, but we won't. Ah, welcome back. From what I hear, your trip to the Studium proved most educational. While you were away, I received word from our fellow scions. As expected, news of the warding scales was met with much joy. Preparations are now underway to bring the leadership of the Grand Company of Eorzea and the Eastern Alliance together to determine a way forward. Our friends have asked that we bring the scales in our possession to Limsa Lominsa. So the time has come for us to go on the offensive? It's too early to say for certain, but that does seem to be the way the winds are blowing. I, for one, can think of no reason to oppose such a plan, but let us see what awaits us in Vilbrand. Okie dokie. Let's start by getting the scales out of storage. Give me a hand, would you, Estinian? Are you gonna say no? You can't say no. You know that. He's got you by the coattails, sorry. Phew, I didn't realize these crates were so heavy. I shouldn't complain though. Vritra and the alchemists of the great work put their heart and soul into each and every one of these scales, so you must treat them with the utmost care. Are you not coming with us? As much as I would like to escape the forum's watchful gaze, I have little choice but to stay behind. We're already on thin ice, and if I, in my capacity as our official representative, were found to be consorting with foreign powers, well, you can imagine how that would go. I shall remain here and do my utmost to avoid ruffling any more feathers as I await word from Master Matoya and our other allies. With luck, we'll soon have good news of our own to share. The tide is about to turn. I can feel it. To Limsa Lominsa. Okay. Thankfully, I have a free teleport there because it's my home aetherite. Cryle. If you learn aught of interest, be sure to let me know. In the meantime, I will do what I can to aid our cause, though I fear that will be precious little given the circumstances. Okay. Back to Limsa we go! My beautiful Limsa Lominsa. Home of QP. Mascot of Bahamut. And, what's the name of the other one? Lena Arcane. Forever fashion leader and, Limsa dancer. I kinda miss being able to AFK forever. Hopefully everything calms down soon. Okay, where exactly do you want me to go in, Limsa? I'm here, bitches. At Bulwark Ball, okay. Thankfully, I now know where it is. And I should really finish those post-Moogle quests eventually. Oh, we're off to see my favorite Rogadin lady. I had such a big crush on her when I first started playing. Ah, I was told to expect you. As you may or may not be aware, the Admiral is at present entertaining the Elder Seed Seer and the Sultana. Any chance Aymeric is there? 3 of the most powerful women in the world in one room. Do you need a moment to prepare, or shall I show you to them? Ha! I'm ready. Let's fucking go! What's up, my fellow bitches? My apologies for calling you away from Sharlayan at such short notice. Wait. I would like a screenshot of this. There we go. On the contrary, we are honored and grateful, and pleasantly surprised to be joined by such esteemed company. 'Twas only right that this discussion be conducted in person. We are locked in a war of attrition. Our forces struggle to contain the threat posed by the towers. It is only a matter of time before we are overwhelmed. Victory will only be claimed through decisive action, and we have taken the initiative to set the wheels in motion. It is reassuring to learn we are all in accord. But might I ask what your plan entails? It hinges entirely on the warding scales and our ability to utilize their potential to the fullest. During your time in Sharlayan, the allied nations have been engaged in separate fronts with no end in sight. To make matters worse, a surge in abductions of kobolds, Sahagin, Ixal, and Ananta have given rise to an increasing number of primals as well. But your triumph in Razadhan has given us cause to hope once more. The time has come to free ourselves of this menace. And it is you, the scions of the Seventh Dawn, who have shown us the way. While the bulk of our forces will continue to hold the Teleporoi at bay, we will dispatch our finest to strike at the enemy's heart, Garlemald. These brave few will be the Ilsabard contingent. Eh? To think such progress has been made in so short a span. Its objectives are twofold. The first is to provide aid to the people of Garlemald. As previously reported, countless Imperial soldiers and civilians have been tempered. Robbed of their free will, they serve the Telephoroid's every whim without question. They too are victims. It is our duty to deliver them from their suffering, not for strategic or political gain, but because it is the right thing to do. I do not ask that we set aside the decades of conflict and conquest, that we simply choose to forgive and forget. I ask only that in choosing to remember, we do not also forsake our compassion and morality, for without that, there can be no reconciliation, only death without end. Aye, on that we can all agree. Our second objective is the colossal tower that Thancred and Urianger observed in the capital. Though its purpose remains unclear, there is reason to believe the smaller spires are merely a precursor of what's yet to come. Until the Tower of Zot was toppled, we'd failed to make any headway, though the same could be said of the Telephoroi. They're certainly in no rush to press further into our lands. I'd wager the spire's primary purpose is to divide and keep us occupied, while they work towards our annihilation. This would appear to be sustained by Ystola's analysis of the tower's influence on ethereal currents. Based on her observations inside the Tower of Zot, the spires siphon ether from the land, consuming it to maintain their form. However, they draw forth far more than is required for this task alone. The excess of ether remains unaccounted for, but we can be sure it is not being harnessed for our benefit. It wouldn't surprise me in the least if it was being redirected to the larger spire in the capital. There's a logic in that. Regardless, once we have uncovered the truth, we'll bring their schemes crashing down, along with their infernal towers. That's all well and good. But what would you have us do? I assume it's more than handing over the scales and being on our way. We want you and your scales to join the Ilsabard contingent. Consider it an official request from both the Grand Company of Eorzea and the Eastern Alliance. Do you accept? Do we have a choice? Perhaps you should be the one to answer that. For honor and glory, for the people of Garlemald, for revenge against the Telephoroi. Let's all be goody-goody. Couldn't have put it better myself. Yay! He approves. I'm happy. Y'shtola, Thancred, and Rianje have already pledged their support and are on their way to meet the rest of the contingent. They were positive you would come to the same decision as they did. Luckily for all involved, the prediction was correct. Once you have delivered the warding scales to Alamigo, the contingent will embark on its journey to Ilsabard. The music is so good, you guys. Raubahn and Lord Aymeric are overseeing preparations. Sorry. So I suggest you make yourselves known upon arrival. I will! Pack warm clothing, firms and the like. Without it, the cold will do you in before the Telephroi so much as draw steel. As for us, we'll keep the enemy busy while you're gone. They're not the only ones who can create a diversion. Now go, safe in the knowledge Eorzea will be as you left it, or better, upon your return. Oh my god, we're getting there, you guys! Epic music time! Speaking of music though, is it too loud? I might need to like turn that down a teeny little bit, probably. But it's so good! It's so good! Wait, let's turn the music. It's already at like 18. Let's turn it up to 15. There we go. Where do you want me to go next? Gyr Abania. Finally, another place where I could fly. I miss flying so much. I can't fly anywhere in the new areas yet. Off to the logs. Oh, Aymeric! I'm on my way! I'm on my way! Wait for me, sweetie! Honey bunch! Baby! Wait, who are you? Oh, I have to go in, okay. Alright. Let's go. Aye, the gate at the top of these stairs lead into the palace. Nay, I can't let you in without the proper say-so. Ah! He's here! He's here! Sorry. Alize! You know, I'm quite looking forward to seeing who's been selected for the Ilsabard contingent. I have a few people in mind. Care to make a friendly wager? Alphino. I'll admit this is all rather daunting, though not quite in the way I was expecting. We'll be standing shoulder to shoulder with our alliance's finest, the best of the best, the warrior of light, and, well, me. It's silly, I know. Perhaps this is my way of distracting myself from the part I should be worried about, marching into Garlemald. Graha? I must quiz Thancred and Rianje on the conditions we can expect in Garlemald. I know it's cold, but how cold? Will I need to keep my ears covered? They can be a bit sensitive at times. Is that so, Graha? Really? Really? Your ears? Fangirls, take note. Graha's ears are sensitive. It's canon. Estinian. Saving the best for last. If Aymeric asks after me, say I'm getting on fine and leave it at that. Don't you dare breathe a word about the cord. That you're terrible with money, I'm totally gonna tell him. Aymeric! Ah, fancy meeting you here. I trust our mutual friend is settling into life as a scion. Collaboration never was his forte. The moment the fighting ended, off he'd go like a Gaelic cat swept up in a strong breeze. But rest assured, he will always be there when you need him. Probably. Okay guys, you know what this means, right? Yeah, I'll see you in a bit. Be right back. Okay. And welcome back. Okay, I'm done. I promise. I'm done. Okay, here we go. Raubahn, what's up? Ah, the Wanderers return. You've been busy bringing down a tower and producing the keys to destroying the rest of them. You should be proud. Those warding scales of yours are what's made this whole venture possible. Will you and Lord Aymeric be leading the contingent? Regrettably, no. Our role is to organize the various delegations into a cohesive unit. Once we have seen you all off, it's back to our respective posts. I can't stop taking pictures. We dare not neglect our duties for too long, lest our defensive efforts fall into disarray. And just between us, there was a fair amount of opposition to the formation of the Ilsabard contingent. The very suggestion that we send out some of our finest troops behind enemy lines to render aid unto the Garleans has made me rather unpopular in certain quarters. I don't care. They can go suck it. I love you. I love you so much. Can't please them all. Right? Sadly not, though I do my best. Truth be told, I'd much rather be at your side, charging into the fray. Alas, I've battles of my own to fight, where words may serve me better than any blade. I'm gonna shut up now. Before I say something stupid. I hate to say it, but Lord Aymeric's struggles mirror my own. For the time being, the best we can offer you is the peace of mind from knowing Eorzea is in safe hands. As you fight the good fight in Ilsabard, I and the other commanders will do what we can to convince the naysayers that our cause is just. Thank you, both of you. We meet again. Who are you? Oh! That other dad! Much has occurred since we parted ways in Werlit. From what I gather, the protective talismans you obtained led to the formation of this expeditionary force. My contribution on this occasion is but a minor one, that being the information I have shared with Maxima. For the sake of the people of Garlemald, may the fates be on your side. So you're not coming with us? Strange. I thought you'd have a stake in this. I do. The Telepharoi have laid waste to my homeland and enslaved my people. But though every mote of my being cries for vengeance, I cannot be the one to deliver it. My presence alone would place the entire mission in jeopardy. I stand accused of murdering Emperor Varys and plunging Garlemald into chaos. Were I to travel with the Ilsabard contingent, it would give my countrymen ample cause to question our motives. Conversely, those who believe me innocent may instead celebrate the return of a former legatus and attempt to raise me to a position of leadership, further destabilizing the region and complicating the contingent's mission. Whether I am branded villain or hailed as a hero, I would only hinder your efforts. We will deliver your people from harm in your stead. I doubt they'll be pleased to see the champion of Eorzea set foot on Garlean soil. I understand. Werlit is in your hands. It's your baby. Go take it. Go keep the kids safe. And I will defend it to my dying breath. After the sacrifices my sons and daughters made, I can do no less. Don't remind me! I and the government of Werlit intend to offer refuge to those fleeing Garlemald. Should that time come, we will be ready. Good plan. In light of Gaius's rather unique circumstances, I instead will assume the role of your guide. Though I may have defected for political reasons, my love for Garlemald endures. I would stop at nothing to protect her and her people. Well said. Might I ask you to escort our friends inside? Okie dokie. You might even bump into an old acquaintance or two, and if I don't see you again ere you depart, may the Fury guide and protect you. All of you. No, come see me again! No, Aymeric, come back. I neglected to mention earlier that we received a report from our troops that may be of interest to you. While engaged with a lunar primal, a great worm swooped down from the skies above and came to their aid. This worm, as described, was the spitting image of Tiamat. It would seem she too continues to wage war against the Telephoroi. Is he talking about Pagalthan? Like Gaius, I too stand accused of Varys' murder, though I am rather less recognizable than sight. Still, it's something to bear in mind once we reach Garlemald. Graha? So that's Gaius Balzar. The horrors he must have seen. Many of his own making, I do not doubt. Alphinaud. With the knowledge that our allies will hold the line in our absence, we may devote our attention to the Ilsabardian front. Alizé. I suppose it's easy for some people to forget there are civilians in Garlemald. There are civilians in Garlemald too, when the only Imperials they've ever known are soldiers. Raubahn. Once we've seen the contingent on its way, I will return to my duties here in Alamigo. As many of our most capable will be traveling with you to Garlemald, we who remain will have to fight that much harder to make up the difference. But let no man say I do not welcome the challenge. This old bull isn't ready to hang up his horns yet. Someone over there is disconnecting. Someone's pokeballing over there. Gaius. Regardless of how my countrymen receive you, the cold will not treat you kindly. Underestimate it at your peril. Okay, I guess it's cold, huh? Maxima, long time no see. Maxima would have you meet your new traveling companions. I don't want you traveling, I want an Aymeric. The other members of the Ilsabard contingent are gathered in the royal palace. I shall inform them of your arrival, so please make your way inside as soon as you are ready. Oh, now will you let me in? The remaining members of the Scions. Your friends and most of the Ilsabard contingent await you within. Would you like me to see you through? Yeah, let's go. I'll probably have to... Oh, here we go. Let's have some coffee.
By the 12.
Hmm? Oh my god!
Glad you could join us. I hope you don't mind, but we went ahead and started without you.
As you can imagine, our traveling companions were eager to become acquainted. 'Tis a rare thing indeed to see such a diverse and talented group of individuals assembled for a single purpose. We fight not only for the sake of Eorzea, but for the entire world, including the people of Garlemald. Much rides on the efforts of the Ilsabard contingent.
The music that's playing. The music that's playing, you guys. It's making me teary. Stone and steel.
Indeed,
Heavens.
which is why I am glad to find myself in the company of many trusted comrades,
Let's see.
yourselves included.
Stone and Steel is playing, but it's from Heaven's Ward, and I want to cry.
Lucia!
Long time no see, girl.
I have come at the behest of Lord Aymeric, who has honored me with the role of Ishgard's representative. And for the good of all nations, not least my former homeland, I am determined to see this mission through to its end. We have a hard road ahead of us, but walk it we shall, together.
Mm-hmm. I'm happy you're here.
We too welcome this opportunity to work together once more. I have faith that, if there is a way to resolve this conflict, we will find it.
The song that's playing, it's giving me feelings, you guys.
Allow me to introduce you to the rest of our company. Everyone! If I may have your attention.
What was that, Graha? You, Pajal, the Thaumaturgus Guild,
Might I ask you to speak first?
The machinists and... Yes, because I was a conjurer first.
If I must.
I was a white mage first.
I am Arun Senna, spokesman for the Gridanian delegation. Here on behalf of my esteemed sister, the Elder Seedseer, we shall provide support and protection to those in need during our time in Garlemald. To that end, I am joined by healers selected by the Conjurers Guild, with the Order of the Twin Adder's Finest serving as our escort. Of course, with an experienced white mage such as yourself accompanying us as well, those requiring more involved treatment will be in safe hands. Raya O sends her regards, by the way.
Your sister.
Suppose I'd better say my piece.
You!
Wait, I know you.
The name's Sickard, in case you've forgotten. Truth be told, I'd rather you had forgotten.
On the Crystal Tower.
Any road, the Admiral asked Captain Hilfear to send his best, and for whatever reason, he picked me. Of course, if I'd refused, I'd be the laughingstock of the bloody executioners, and my reputation's taken enough of a keyhauling as it is. But more importantly, like any pirate worth his salt, I know when you're staring down a storm, you gotta trust in the commander of your ship.
The Marauders.
So if the Admiral wants us to go to Garlemald, not for plunder and glory, but the promise of peace in our time, then that's what we'll do.
I'm getting so flustered. I'm mixing up the names of the... What's his name? Elizan Tand. They just mentioned it like 5 seconds ago. Fuck.
Since we all know how much the Empire loves its steel, we thought we'd bring along a few smiths to make the most of it. Give them a pile of scrap and they'll cobble together anything you fancy. Of course, just like the Gridanians, we got fighters of our own. We might have come with a more constructive purpose in mind, but we're more than capable of cracking skulls, believe you me.
Not that accent. The Guardian Contingent.
Well, you're certainly raring to go. But then again, so are we.
Please, long time no see, girl.
The most dependable warriors of Uldar and Alamigo have assembled at the Sultana and General Aldin's behest. If Garlemald has truly fallen, then the whole place is likely to be crawling with Telophoroi. We'll need plenty of troops to clear and hold a path for others to follow. That's where we come in. Naturally, Marshal Terrapin and I will be leading from the front.
It's been some time since I last saw you in your element on the battlefield.
The music. It's driving me crazy.
From what I've heard, you've become pretty fearsome yourself. Master Matoya?
The Avatar of Destruction.
With comrades like these, I know we'll succeed, no matter what awaits us. And then we might finally get a chance to enjoy a good long rest. But until then, let's give it our all.
Can't stop taking screenshots.
As for Ishgard, we Temple Knights have come in force to uphold our nation's commitment to the peace and welfare of our allies. The bitter cold of Garlemald is a formidable enemy in of itself. Our experience fighting in ice and snow will prove invaluable in the days ahead. Accordingly, I have been designated commander of the Ilsabard contingent. I will do all in my power to provide you with the leadership and guidance you require. The four high houses, House Hylinart foremost among them, have arranged for a host of machinists to join us on our mission. Their knowledge of Imperial Magitech is sure to be a great boon. They will address any problems of a technical nature together with the smiths of Limsa Lominsa. There is another awaiting introduction.
Lord Montichaigne!
Oh my goodness. He's here. He's grown. He's grown.
Ah, yes. Montichaigne de Forton, at your service.
I missed you.
Though, lest there be any misunderstanding, I should stress that I've not become a fearsome warrior while you were away. Rather, far from it, actually. My brother, in his infinite wisdom, decided this would be an excellent chance to make something of myself. Oh, and fight for world peace and all that.
And he's right. He's probably right. You know it.
But, should the opportunity arise for a spot of ballroom dancing, I will be your twinkle-toed gentleman of light.
I missed you, you dolt. I dare say your fancy footwork may be all that stands between us and certain doom.
Huzzah! I cannot wait to regale Honoroa with my tales of daring-do.
I believe that concludes introductions for the Grand Company of Eorzea.
He's so done.
Our allies from the Eastern Alliance were due to arrive some time ago, but it would appear they have been delayed.
They'll be here. They're just a little disorganized compared to everyone else. The tribes of the steppe. They're not easy to corral.
Would that be the shinobi of Doma?
Actually, they've been tasked with relaying messages back and forth between the various eastern nations. According to Lord Hien, however, an equally capable company of warriors has been sent in their stead.
It's the steppe guys. It's the guys from the Azim steppe. It has to be.
Out of my way!
There she is! There she is! I knew it! Magna! Magna, my love! I love this. I adore this.
Forgive
Serena.
us for coming late. We are the delegates of the Eastern Alliance.
Serena, and you've brought company.
For battle and blood we come, as the steppe is sorely lacking in both. No towers befoul our lands, so we marched on those of Doma, only to find them beyond our reach. But now our thirst for slaughter will be slaked. No quarter to the enemy!
Magna just shrugged.
Sadu Hatun, no. We go to make peace with the Iron Men, not war.
Will you please explain the instructions to her again? She may be a little mixed up.
Warriors of the steppe, we've heard many tales of your bravery. We welcome you as allies. And these other ones you have brought are...
Magni!
Members of the Dalmascan resistance group, Lente's Tears.
Oh! Of course!
And the Bosnian resistance. Between them, they have a wealth of experience in espionage, and are particularly adept at infiltrating Imperial facilities. Which is fortuitous, since Garlemald's domain is so vast that I could never hope to handle reconnaissance duties all by myself.
Dalmasca, Bosnia, Alamigo. All lands which have suffered the tyranny of the Empire. I would never presume to question your motives. Nevertheless, I must reiterate that our goal is to aid the victims of the Telophoroi, the common folk of Garlemald.
Just reminding everyone, friends, not food. Okay, we're here to help, not to murder everyone. Just reminding everybody.
And they are victims, make no mistake. Though I understand that many may struggle to see them as such.
You're more right than you know. For every one of us that answered the call, there were a dozen that refused.
You can't blame them.
Not only in Alamigo, but everywhere we went. And who could blame them? The Empire's always been the enemy. But after seeing what we've seen, fighting and working against and with Garleans, there's no denying the simple truth. They're just people. No different from you or I. They've got their share of liars and murderers, but so do we. So do we all. Fordola, who once swore herself to Garlemald, has proven herself a trusted ally time and time again. Every Eorzean here knows Cid Garland, the Imperial defector who shared with us countless technological wonders. Gaius bloody Baelsar himself is working to help rebuild Wurlid, a nation he once conquered. So you can believe me when I say that every fighter here understands and accepts that the Imperials are not monsters and are deserving of help. Or at least that they were able to put aside their feelings for the greater good. It won't be easy, but we're all determined to make this world a better place.
This is making me cry.
What lingering concerns I may have had were clearly unwarranted. I agree with everything you said wholeheartedly.
Doesn't Magni get a voice?
Then we are in accord. Now, let us review our strategy.
I guess he doesn't.
To reach the Garlean capital in northern Ilsabard, we must cross the central mountain range. Fortunately, Garlemald Ironworks can provide aerial transport, sparing us this most treacherous part of our journey. However, attempting to fly any closer to Garlemald would attract the attention of the Telophoroi. As they appear to have seized control of the majority of the Imperial military, we must assume that includes its fleet. In addition, Garlemald possesses device...
Oh, sorry.
Given the circumstances, the closest we dare deploy our contingent is an area between the range and the capital, the Magna Glaciers. From there, we must travel the rest of the way on foot. We will also need to bring the airships with us to ensure we can withdraw with haste. Although much of the terrain will be blanketed in snow, we should be able to make use of local roads and shipping facilities. The vast ice field will afford us an unobstructed view of the surrounding area. On the other hand, it will also allow others to easily spot us, so it is imperative that we only make camp in positions where we can easily defend ourselves. And the airships, which must be kept safe at all costs.
We cannot account for every possibility, so we must be prepared to think on our feet. We will be tested. Sorely tested, I expect. But for our homes and for our people, and a people not our own but in need, we will succeed. Spare no effort in your preparations. Once we depart, there is no turning back.
Oops. Wow. That just wow, that was quite a sequence. I'm sorry, I'm just like taking a picture right now. Okay, let me just compose myself real quick. One sec. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Arun Senna, what's up? In case you were wondering, Esquiva will be staying behind to defend the 12 splits with my sisters. She was of the opinion she would make a useful addition to our contingent, and was eager to make good on her vow to accompany me as well, which was flattering, but ultimately it was decided that her skills would be better put to use, keeping our homeland safe. I am of course obligated to share with her every detail when I return. Sicard. Until the Empire fell, Garleans were the only ones we was allowed to impose tariffs upon at sea. Weren't easy pickings, but I made myself a pretty gill. Since they've been so generous to me and mine, perhaps it's time I returned the favor and gave a little something back. Pippin! Often has father told me of the struggles faced by Alamigo in the days of the occupation, and I too have crossed swords with the Empire on many occasions. Though Garlemald has long been our bitter enemy, Her Grace has elected to bolster the Ilsabard contingent with members of the Immortal Flames. As representatives of the Sultanate, we are one in our commitment to the cause. Lys! It seems so long ago we were sailing across the Ruby Sea and charging about the Azim Steppe with Serena and the others. I'd say we're overdue for another adventure. Ah, it brings back memories to see so many familiar faces. We've been through so much together. Good times and not so good. We've been through so much together, you guys. I expect Garlemald will be mostly the latter, but I'd like to believe we'll look back on these days more fondly in the years to come. But for that to happen, we'll have to make it out of this alive. Don't you die on me, aye? I won't. Lucia. I've led troops into battle many a time, but never a unit with such a diverse range of talents. While I've been briefed on their capabilities, I expect you could provide additional insight into their strengths and weaknesses. I'd appreciate any advice you may have. Maxima. I cast my lot with the Popularis to bridge and divide between Garlemald and her territories, that all may be united in common cause. But we were disparaged as a radical element, dissenters looking to destabilize the Empire from within. Many friends and even my parents perished in unfortunate accidents. I too would surely have met the same fate had I not defected. Nevertheless, I still dream of equality and peace for us all. As the world itself stands on the brink of collapse, I hold out hope that one day that dream will become reality. Well, if I'd known what a social gathering this would turn out to be, I'd have dressed for the occasion. Still, this seems the perfect opportunity to mingle with the other guests. Would I be correct in assuming those ladies over yonder are Serena and Sadu of the Steppe? Don't even think about it, boy. Perhaps I should introduce myself, though I don't much like the look of that fellow with the enormous axe. I like the fellow with the enormous axe. Stephanie Vivian. Well met, Alexia, well met. 'Twould seem that my machinists have been called upon to serve a turn of events which, according to my prospectometer, could prove to be quite the opportunity. I shall show the world the full extent of machinistry's work. Of that and more you can be sure of, my friend. We'll do the Scions last. Rustic, how you been? Once again we find ourselves fighting on the same side. First Bosja, now Garlemald. It may seem strange I'd agreed to aid the Imperials after waging war against them for so long, but here I am. It's time we put the past behind us. Serena. I am glad to see you well, Alexia. Grandmother was worried for you. The night I agreed to come hither and join the contingent, the gods sent her a strange dream. 2 suns, one burning red, the other frozen black. Closer they circled, closer and closer, and as they danced the world fell to ruin. In blinding chaos she spied blackened silhouettes, and knew at once that one was yours. Yet we knew not how to interpret this dream, save as a sign that great danger awaits. But whatever lies ahead, I will walk with you, traveler. Girl, sup? I care not for the Iron Men or their troubles. It is their destiny, or of the weak. It is the destiny of the weak to die in ignominy. Even so, I will do as I have agreed. I volunteered to join this band at Serena's request, and if she thinks it is a worthy cause, that is reason enough. Though we hail from different tribes, our bond has grown strong of late. She is much better company on a hunt than any of the steppes oafish men could dream to be. My sweet, how are you? With them all, champions of the Nadam and the Dotharl having sent so many here, I had thought to defend the steppe in their absence. And I would have done so were it not for my step-brothers. They urged me to grant our allies the sun's might, that his radiance may deliver them unto victory. Though I must tolerate the presence of this feral Dotharli dog, as first among my brothers, I could do no less than accept this challenge. My deeds will become the stuff of legends. You're okay. Alright. Thancred, what's up? I've close ties with the scouts of the Eastern Alliance and the various resistance groups, and they're an absolute joy to work with. Dadyanjay. Blessed are we to have made countless steadfast allies over our journey's course. Indeed, we are joined today by many new acquaintances, who in time shall we come to call our comrades, and mayhap friends. Alize? I was half expecting to find the man who taught me red magic amongst our number, but he's nowhere to be seen. I suppose he'd had his share of unpleasant experiences with the Empire, but so have we all. Perhaps there's some other reason. Well, in any case, I have a feeling I'll see him again once this is all over. I'm sure he'll be pleasantly surprised by how much my swordplay improved since we last met. I think the reason he's not here is because I didn't take up red mage as a job. I'm so sorry, Alize. Alferno. We've been part of joint military operations like this before, and with far greater numbers, but for some reason this feels very different to our previous experiences. Despite having shared little more than introductions, there is already a palpable sense of camaraderie. Xinyan. So, Lucia's in command. Regardless of her background, she's a temple knight through and through. I dare say her Garlean roots are all the more reason for her to lead this mission. Short and sweet, Graha? This is extraordinary. Are you okay? To be in such company, the finest our allies have to offer. With comrades such as these, we are bound to succeed. I'm certain of it. Oh, my sweet. Okay, let's do this. Let's do this. Let's go. Besides the delegates assembled here, the Amalja and several other tribes offered to send troops of their own. Unfortunately, due to their physiology, many would struggle simply to survive in the harsh climate of Ilsabard. They would also likely prove tempting targets for abduction by the Telepheroi. All things considered, they can better aid the cause of bolstering our defenses in the Eorzea, though their eagerness to do more has been noted. We few shall have to suffice. Ere we embark, we must distribute the warding scales to our comrades. Care to do the honors? Okie dokie. Serena, be safe. We heard it would be cold in Garlemald, so we came prepared. Have a scale for you. Oh, the talismans. We are to keep these close at all times, yes? I will see that no one misplaces theirs. And before I forget, I have a message from Hien. In distant lands, in times of strife, together stand, together fight. In darkness shines the light of life. I hope I have done his words justice. Doma, like much of Othard, has been plagued by the towers, yet while he could not be here, he wishes to express his shared conviction. Hien and Yugiri labor without rest to unite the people, and with their aid will we keep the enemy at bay. And we of the Steppe and the Eastern Alliance will repay their efforts by ending this war. Do you have something new to say, by the way? Nope. It's just repeating the one from earlier. Arun. Yes? Word for you. So these are the famed warding scales. Enough for me and my men, I see. I myself am especially grateful for this opportunity to visit distant lands. I wish to follow in the footsteps of Master Atoa and learn all there is to learn of this star we call home. Indeed, that is the primary reason I volunteered to join the expedition. To journey outside the Twelveswood, much less enter into Imperial territory, is a rare privilege afforded a Pajal. Not that I'm tagging along to see the sights. The Garleans would benefit from my healing magics, as would our comrades, should fighting break out. I know. Sicard. I hear you've got something for us. Here. Ah, them scales everyone's been talking about. Pretty little things, ain't they? Reckon they'll be worth a gill or two when this is all over, but we'll hold on to them for now. Don't sell it, you bastard! And one more thing. I know what you're all thinking. Why didn't they send Enzar instead? Buggered if I know. All the Admiral and Captain Hilfair told me was they needed someone to help safeguard the future. And here I am. Can't say they haven't got a sense of humor. Of course, some of you might be wondering what good a pirate is on dry land, in the middle of the sodden snow of all places. Well, me and my crew will do whatever needs doing, so let's set sail, or however the saying goes, on airships. Please? Is that a set of warding scales I spy? Not that I would know what they'd look like. Bet you would. Wow, look at these! Even a layman like me can tell they're bursting with aether. All the better to fend off the tempering waves? Is that the right term? Anyway, these'll give us one less thing to worry about, which just leaves the other mountain of whatever else is waiting for us in Garlemald. Only one way to find out, eh? And nervous or not, I'd march through all 7 hells if it gave me a chance to put Xenos back in the grave where he belongs. Oh yeah, that guy. Lucia. Warding scales for the Ishgardian delegation, I take it? Yep. For Aymeric? Many thanks. These talismans may prove to be the deciding factor in the battles to come. I find myself conflicted by this foray into Garlemald. Sent by the Empire to infiltrate Ishgard, only to throw in my lot with those whose secrets I was supposed to be stealing. And now I lead a mission to save the countrymen I betrayed. But that is doubtless why I was chosen by Lord Aymeric. He would have me put my extensive knowledge and former ties to good use. I will not disappoint him. You better not. For the future of Ishgard, Garlemald, and the world at large, I will lead us to victory. I know you would. Anyone else? Anyone else? Did I miss anyone? Maxima? Let's go. It's go time. Do you have a warding scale for me too? Oh yeah, actually I do. Here. Sorry. Thank you for this, and for going to such incredible lengths for the sake of my people. Though I have little to offer in return, I would impart some advice if I may. You have been told by many to wear the cold of Ilsabard, and I cannot stress enough that this is no token warning. I will be distributing specially made warming tinctures, courtesy of the Alchemists Guild, but understand that they are no substitute for proper protection. I leave the provisioning of said protection to your discretion. Now, let us proceed to the Alamigan Quarter. While you make your final preparations, I will have the pilots ready the airships. Okay. Oh god. Ooh. Here we are again, Alize. If you have anything you still need to take care of, you'd better see to it now. Thancred? This coat is quite warm, but I have something rather thicker for occasions like these. There's no telling how long we'll be out in the open, and we can't go starting fires willy-nilly if we want to avoid detection. Oriange, you going dressed like that? Am I going dressed like this? I should change into something warmer, I guess. Concoctions to fortify the flesh against wind and cold are commonly sold in the Ul'dan markets, though they are of dubious provenance and efficacy. 'Tis said, however, that in recent days the Alchemist's Guild has produced a tincture capable of such a feat. Mayhap the achievements of their Thavnarian counterparts did spur them to action, that they not be put to shame. Ishtola. It's something of a constant refrain that we require warmer clothing. My present garb may be lacking, fur collar notwithstanding. Yeah, you and me, girl. Graha? Since my revival, I've been lax in expanding my limited wardrobe. Think we have time for a quick trip back to old Sharlayan? I recall a rather fetching coat. Oh, wait, we could get you an outfit? I would love that. Studium. Preparations? I've got my armor and my lance. What more do I need? What more could I need? Why am I not surprised? Why did I even ask? Alphino. This is our last chance to make ready before we set forth. You needn't worry about Oyanje and I. We still have what we wore in Garlemald before. Studium claims to be quite warm and toasty beneath his armor, and since he spent a fair bit of time up north recently as well, I have no reason to doubt his words. Most of the others will be borrowing Grand Company stock. The rest of you could do likewise, I suppose, provided you're not overly concerned with style. I am. Not to put too fine a point on it, but I wouldn't be seen dead in one of those ridiculous overcoats. I know, right? Oh my god, finally, someone understands. If only I had time to find something to my liking. I'm a weaver, you know. Hark! Is that the cry of science in need of a tailor, I hear? Ah, Tataru! Of course! Tataru! But how? She knows. I have my ways. Oh, yes, indeed. Yes, you do. You thought you could sneak off to Ilsabard without telling me? Ha! Nothing escapes my notice. Now you will wear these garments I've made for you whether you like it or not. Yes, ma'am. You never cease to amaze. But why do you need a new outfit as well? Wait, are you coming with us? What? No, of course not, silly. It's all in the name of fashion. Rather, the pursuit of the highest quality fashion. Besides, how can I expect others to wear my creations if I've never worn them myself? Good point. I did have one other thing to share. Erasmus and Blumida have finally returned from assignments in faraway lands. They'll be staying in the Rising Stones for a while to keep an eye on events throughout Eorzea. Since they'll be running things back at headquarters, I was wondering if I could lend a hand in Sharlayan. Oh, why not? You can keep Kral company in the Baldesion Annex. Yes, we'd love to have you there. And I heard Erasmus and Blominda did a fine job carrying on in our stead while we were lying comatose. With them in charge of the Rising Stones, we've nothing to worry about. My thoughts exactly. Also, while I'm confident you won't go collapsing again, because a certain someone who shall remain nameless isn't in a position to transport your souls to another world, if anything similarly disastrous were to happen, I'll be well positioned to do something about it. Anyway, I've got a few things to take care of, and then I'll make my way to Sharlayan. I really do hope these new clothes are enough to keep you warm in Garlemald. It's not much, but it's the only thing I can do for you other than pray for your safe return, which I will, every day. Let's not keep the contingent waiting any longer. Here are your winter woolies, handcrafted by yours truly. I love you, Tataru. Thank you, girl. This has been really touching. I don't know how else to describe it. Tataru. A frosty reception. Tataru is desperately trying to retain her composure as she prepares to see you off on another perilous journey. I'm so sorry, you're always the one left behind. I'm told the airship pilot has been sent to meet you. Ah, there he is. Where? Alright, this is where we go our separate ways. Do be careful, won't you? I modeled your clothing on what Alphino and I wore when we journeyed from Lord Haurchefant's falling snows to Ishgard for the first time. In those days, I barely knew one end of a sewing needle from the other, and as you've always had very individual tastes, I let you pick your own outfit. I like to think my skills have improved since then, but do you know what's more important than skill? Heart and soul. There's plenty to be found in each and every one of my works. Alright. Oh dear, it looks like a duty. It's a duty, isn't it? Let's... Why? Oh yeah, I took my hat off a while ago. Because I was taking G-post shots with Aymeric. Sorry. Is my equipment on? Okay, good thing I checked first. It's an honor to finally meet you. We of the Garland Ironworks will be ferrying you and your contingent across the mountains and into Garlemald. For many of us, it will be something of a homecoming. Our illustrious founder was only our most notable Imperial defector. For that reason, the company is committed to the success of the expedition. Our resources are at your disposal, and if there is aught we might do to be of further assistance, please do not hesitate to ask. If you are ready to depart, I will ready the engines. Upon boarding the airship, several cutscenes will... Oh no, it's that. Let's do it. Let's do it. In addition, you will be required to participate in battle. Your progress will be saved at certain points. In the event you are defeated, you will be able to try again from the most recent of these. Thank you. Oh, if you're logged out from the game, this progress will be lost. Wi-Fi, please hold strong. Yeah, sure, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's get this over with. I am excited. I'm pumped up. Let's go. Hopefully the loading screen doesn't take 5 minutes.
Ilsabard, divided in twain by a vast mountain range. Those who would traverse its jagged peaks face peril at every step. But why go by foot when one can simply fly? On the outskirts of the Imperial capital, in the frozen wastes of the Magna Glacius, the winds howl in icy protest, as if to warn against further trespass.
We've received word from Thancred's reconnaissance party. They've sighted a detachment of heavily armed Imperials.
Survivors of the Civil War, perhaps.
Oh, we're actually dressed in the thingy.
Perhaps, but there is more to it than that. Maxima reports that they're led by Vergilia, legatus of the 3rd Legion, which comprises the bulk of their number. However, they are also joined by several members of the 1st.
From what I recall, the 3rd Legion fought for Nerva in the War of Succession following Varus's death. The 1st, on the other hand, were under the direct command of the Emperor and rejected Nerva's claim to the throne. These legions were enemies.
Indeed. In fact, our sources claim that it was a conflict between them that sparked the Civil War. Yet now, these former foes cooperate to defend a ruined Garlemald from invasion.
Then it is all but certain they have been tempered.
So, what's the plan? If me and my crew is out reaving, we charge straight in, no messing about. But that ain't what we're here for.
I'm in the lane. You're a guardian. Why are you?
Quite right. Soldiers or no, they are people of Garlemald, the very ones we have come to aid. Direct confrontation is unavoidable. Nevertheless, we must make every effort to limit casualties on both sides. Rather than kill them, I would remove them from the field.
How so? Savage beatings, disarmament, and imprisonment? Not impossible, but easier said than done in the heat of battle.
Having observed the opposition, I imagine Thancred had something to suggest?
He did. He and the other scouts have already infiltrated a supply depot some distance beyond the Imperial detachment's current position. Stored within is a stockpile of Magitech armaments. And once we give the signal, Thancred's team will destroy them all. In so doing, we will deprive frontline troops of materiel, and likely force the detachment to send men to investigate.
Divide and conquer. Not a bad idea.
Once the scouts have finished their preparations, we will split into 2 groups. The first will form the vanguard, while the other brings up the rear with our supplies. As for the Scions, I ask that you lend your assistance where you deem it needed most. I would prefer, however, that you accompany the rearguard and be prepared to join the van at a moment's notice. Kept in reserve as our trump card, so to speak.
Oh, that is a nice set of armor. You wore Bozja stuff.
Your proposal was well received. More specifically, they asked that we destroy the Imperial's toys in as spectacular a fashion as possible.
Ishtola always did have a flair for the dramatic. She's not an easy woman to please, but I shall do my best to satisfy her thirst for fireworks.
Ooh, that's so sexy.
All right. Once more for my peace of mind. Our first objective will be to rig the enemy's Magitech with explosives. After we've withdrawn to a safe distance, we'll detonate them remotely. Our second will be to issue a deactivation command to the automated units via the control terminal. If our calculations are correct, this signal should reach those deployed on the front line, giving our friends a much-needed upper hand. The blizzard will help us stay hidden, so let's aim to get in and out before it passes.
Oh, I keep doing that. I'm so sorry.
In the meantime, I will relay messages back and forth as the situation unfolds. You'll forgive me if I ask again, but are you certain you wish to play the lone wolf?
Wouldn't have it any other way. Call it foolish and reckless if you like, but I'll get the job done. I always do.
He's the man.
Very well. I wish you the best of luck.
I'm not sure whether I should put this up or not. Oh no. Is it fighting time? Is it time? Yeah. Oh! In the coming battle, you will fight as Thancred. No speech to— oh. Assuming there is nothing else you wish to confirm, we may commence the mission as soon as you are ready. Learn about mission exclusive actions. Tutorial to me. Swift deception renders Thancred invisible and increases his movement speed. While active, enemy soldiers and Magitech will be unable to perceive Thancred's presence even if they are within close proximity. However, it has no effect on the guard dog's acute sense of smell, and they will be able to detect Thancred regardless, because he's a stinky boy. Moreover, this action can only be used outside of combat. It will also be unavailable when Thancred attempts to deactivate Magitech fields or execute certain other actions. So it's stealth until you do anything. Thancred's silent takedown will instantly render a soldier unconscious. It can only be used while swift deception is in effect, so it's an assassinate. Though it cannot be used on Magitech or guard dogs, utilizing silent takedown whenever possible is essential in clearing a path to your objectives. As guard dogs can detect Thancred even when swift deception is active, you can instead use a bewilderment bomb to distract them and sneak past unnoticed. Conversely, bewilderment bombs have no effect on Magitech or soldiers, so take care to choose the right tool for the situation. Okay. YOLO! Like... oh, I was supposed to click the other one. Okay, so... In the coming battle, you will fight as Thancred. You have two objectives. Place explosives on the Imperial Magitech and deactivate the frontline Magitech units via the control terminal. Dog there? Okay. If the guard detects and pursues you, enemy forces will become more aware of the threat you pose, as indicated by the threat awareness gauge. The gauge will gradually fill until you defeat all alerted enemies. If the gauge is completely filled, the guards will call for reinforcements and the mission will end in failure. Use swift deception to avoid detection as you go about completing your objectives. God, what am I doing? Yes, let's go. Yeah, no, of course I'm not.
Keep your wits about you. It's time. We only have one shot at this, so let's make it count.
Where are you guys going?
Must be losing my touch.
Oh, there was a hiding place there. God damn it.
This is Thancred. The explosives are in place.
So this is it, huh?
Very good. All is proceeding as planned. Head to the control terminal. It should be to the northwest.
The northwest.
Understood. Have the others wait at the rendezvous point.
Where am I supposed to go? Hurry up.
You are returned, and none the worse for wear, to my considerable relief.
Thank God.
What news from our comrades?
They stand at the ready.
Excellent. Then let the fireworks begin.
Just as Y'shtola ordered. Just as the Black Mage ordered.
The blizzard's beginning to clear. The Vanguard should be engaging the Imperials any moment now, if they haven't already. Y'shtola and the others are with them, so I'm sure they'll be all right, but...
Never say never, huh?
Wait! Something's coming!
Dogs.
Oi, oi! Looks like we ain't the only ones who sent out scouts. Keep them away from the carriages! We lose those, and we're as good as dead!
Oh dear. Could you please? Do you mind? I'm trying to hold it here.
A brief respite, but stay alert. Keep the carriages safe.
I can heal them, right? Okay, okay.
What impeccable timing! Fear not, friends! The savior of is here!
Yes, I'll be sure to tell your brother. I promise. You've been trying your best.
A fine display, but the other carriages are still in danger.
I am aware.
Go on ahead. We'll hold the line.
Graha, how are we doing?
We're the only ones still struggling. Oh, we've got our backs into it.
Do you mind this stupid thing? Stop that. Oops. Oh, Graha looks so good in a rebel coat. Oh my god. Are you seeing this? Oh! Sorry. No, fuck you. Look at my well-dressed catboy. You will not ruin this.
You lot alright back there?
We good.
We're fine. I'm ready for more.
Don't say that. Let's go!
Hear that? Get to the front and turn the tide.
Head north. So... here? Look at Sadu go! Magni, babe, where are you at? Repose.
Removed from the field was not a euphemism for enthusiastically murder.
It's nothing that won't heal.
In time. You have a point.
The trouble is, their tempering has made them utterly fearless. Subduing them would be easier if they had the capacity to submit in the first place.
Well, this is the path our young charges would have us walk, and that we all agreed to follow. You knew it would be hard, yet still you pledged your lance, did you not?
Oh, you're getting scolded. You just have to use the less pointy end. I said less. Ooh, Magna is facing off with her. Come on, you got this. A dragoon.
That's for Gilia. Damn it. I need to help the others take her down.
There's no end to them.
Me in my high heels.
I was wondering when you'd turn up.
Sorry.
There's no stopping us now. Come on. Let's show them what we're made of.
Light party, let's go. When the loading screen's done. I seem to be T-posing.
We have them now. Forward! Raging Bull!
That's a raging bull. I see you here.
Do not fall behind!
You're lucky, I'm a healer. Come on, Magni. You got this. They are, sweetie. Don't worry. I got this. Oh, what the fuck? Serena, please.
Heal or die!
You got this, Magni. You don't leave Serena alone. Where the fuck is she? Magni!
Tremble before the sun!
May your scream fill the air!
That is some home gang. Oh my god, we should just chocometer everybody. Oh, Sadu. So explodey, I love you. Yep. Gotcha, bitch.
A worthy adversary. Rest, recover, reclaim yourself. Then we will fight again, to the death.
No, you won't.
Stop. Sadu Hatun.
Magnite! Can I hug him? Can I hug Magnite? Let me,
That
please.
was the last of them. The day is ours, thanks to your timely arrival. What of the supply caravan?
They're fine.
Outmaneuvered, but not outmatched. Good. Let us take the Imperials into custody and rejoin our comrades.
Okay.
And soon we shall arrive at the capital.
Finally. Magna, can I hug Magna? Please let me hug Magna. Like, he's an idiot, but he's our idiot. Oh, I love him so much. It's just so sad. He doesn't get much of a speaking line. He's just those little call-outs during the battle. I wish there was like a cutscene where he actually gets to say something.
So cold and unforgiving. Thus spoke Emperor Solus as he gazed upon his barren domain. "800 years it had been since the Garleans first set foot here. Bested by the Kavosi after centuries of war and driven from fertile southern pastures into the blasted northern wastes. In that garden of desolation, they clung to one another for warmth, freezing, hungry, desperate, hated.
Is that an Aetherite?
The chosen, forsaken.
What the hell? Oh, he's wearing a rebel coat. He's so cute. Oh my god.
In the year 1513 of the 6th Astral Era, a young legatus named Solus single-handedly sparked the Magitech Revolution. How did he conceive the machina that feed on ceruleum? Once a common, soft-spoken soldier, how had he so quickly ascended through the ranks? Like so many others, those who knew the truth are gone. Taking in the capital with his eyes for the first time, I recall thinking to myself, far colder on the earth than in the heavens. Yes, far colder indeed. Bitterly so.
Emmett Selk is referring to... is actually... Okay, he actually said myself.
Not so much as a whisper.
The roads leading beyond the city walls would have been used less in recent years. Nevertheless, this was one of the most important gateways into the capital.
Her buzz day and night with activity, aye. Merchants passing through the checkpoint, many of them stopping at the local hostelries.
Surely they cannot all have been tempered.
We can consider the question after we have made camp. If we spend any longer outside, we may well freeze to death where we stand. The tempered Imperials, too.
Fine.
This will be our temporary base of operations. Secure shelter for ourselves and the injured, and dispatch scouts to survey the surrounding area.
If we're planning on staying here a while, we ought to give this place a proper name.
Again, a good point.
Well, the constant sound of ice cracking underfoot makes me think of broken glass. An apt name, perhaps. But enough of this. To work, everyone!
Broken glass. Ah. Is this a callback to the parting glass? We finally have access to Garlemald. Can I attune you? Yes! Oh! Hello, FC mate. I finally made— oh, people are just flying off. I would also like to be able to fly someday, eventually. Gemstone trader, mender, chunkmonger, delivery, Moogle. Okay. Looks more or less okay, I suppose. Alize. Shouldn't be long before we have a half-decent camp with so many helping hands. I was concerned the snow might hinder our progress, but our Ishgardian friends are used to working in conditions like these. In spite of the obstacles we've faced, our plan proceeds apace. Just a little farther and we will reach the capital itself. Still, we mustn't get ahead of ourselves. As soon as the camp has been made fit for purpose, we are to discuss a course of action with Lucia. Would you mind asking Y'shtola and Graha to join us in that building to the northeast of the camp? Alize and I will meet you there. Okay. Oh, look at that, an entire new map to uncover. Y'shtola? A meeting? Yes, I'll make my way over once my head has cleared. In truth, I've been feeling out of sorts since we arrived. The air is thick with a palpable aura of malevolence. 'Tis the monstrous tower on the horizon, jagged, hideous, unholy. Even at this distance, its presence is overwhelming. Much like the sensation I felt in the Tower of Zot, only far more terrifying. Aether flows unceasingly towards it, converging into a swirling mass of unfathomable power. For a blessing, the constant chill in the air is helping to anchor my senses in the here and now. Tell the others I shall be with you in a few moments. Oh yeah. Yeah, that does look pretty fucking menacing. Okay, who are we looking for again? Graha. Hey June, I remember you. You'll be pleased to know most of the Tempered have been quartered inside the nearby buildings and are receiving treatment as we speak. I do, however, feel no small amount of guilt for commandeering civilian homes. The occupants may be long gone, but everything is exactly as they left it. Considering the length of time that has clearly passed since, one would expect to find them ransacked. Oh, strangely, there are no signs of anything having been stolen. It's possible that everyone fled at the first sign of trouble, though it seems to me they left far too many useful possessions behind. Aye, although there is no conclusive evidence, I strongly suspect they were tempered. Sorry, I was merely thinking out loud. You mentioned a meeting? I will make my way there. He's distracted again. He looks so good in that outfit. Have I mentioned that? Is there a Chocobo Keep here or something? Broken glass. Yeah, that does sound about right. I hate everybody. You could fly and I cannot. Serena? Virgilia is in our care, along with the rest of the Tempered. Glory to Garlemald, glory to Garlemald, they still whisper in their sleep, even as they writhe in pain. These? Raubahn taught me a lot about military strategy during exercises in the Fringes, coordinating units with wildly different capabilities, surveying and securing hostile terrain, that sort of thing. Now I have the chance to put his teachings into practice. Maxima. This is all that remains of Laterum. Homes became empty husks. If this is the state of the outlying villages, I dread to think what has become of the capital. Sorry, Pippin, I didn't see you there. We've asked the Ironwork members and some of our comrades to stay with the airships. In the event we are discovered, we must be ready to move them swiftly to a safer location. Good idea. Senna? The tempered soldiers are sleeping soundly while they undergo treatment. There are too many to attend at once, but I and the other healers will see to all eventually. You okay, buddy? Sigurd. Hell spells. This place is bloody freezing. Rather be tied to the topmast in a storm than suffer this cold any longer. Anyone that can spare a swig of rum? That'll sort me right out. My FC mate coming to see me finally in Garlemald. Thank you for informing the others of our meeting. When everyone is here, we will begin.
Our present situation is as follows.
Sorry.
Efforts to aid the people of Garlemald have begun in earnest. Moreover, having entered into the capital, the Imperial Palace is within our reach.
But before we proceed further, we must learn what has befallen this city. For therein lies the key to understanding and combating the Telophoroid's designs.
I have a suggestion, if I may. Several of the Imperial soldiers we captured on the Magna Glaciers are members of the Populares and acquaintances of mine. Once we have cured them of their tempering, they should be able to give a reliable account of the events leading to the capital's downfall.
A promising idea. I will assist the healers and their ministrations. Of course, I will require a proxy of my own, assuming you can spare one.
Would you like a hand?
No, I am sure we will manage. Better that you take my place in the field. The noxious ether of this place disagrees with me, and as I shall need to draw on my own for the treatment, 'twill be prudent for me to remain within the camp.
This talk of curing the tempered is all well and good, but I reckon the cold is a more pressing concern.
Oh my god, he's right.
All the houses round here are fitted with ceruleum heaters that could keep us warm and toasty. Problem is, the machines seem to have given up the ghost, and if we keep sitting around, freezing our asses off, we'll be next. My smiths reckon that with the right parts, they can have them working again, but it won't be easy.
Understood. The machinist will assist them in the repairs.
The rest of us should either stand watch or survey the area.
We've made our presence known to the Telophoroi. They will be searching for us, if they have not already ascertained our position. That we have seen no sign of them since the battle suggests they have yet to do so. However, I suspect they may be biding their time.
Or perhaps we are beneath their notice.
That too.
In any event, we'll find no answers standing around here. Urianger, Estinian and myself have visited Garlemald recently, so we'll lead the reconnaissance efforts. Perhaps bolstered by a few Bosnian and Dalmatian scouts from my previous excursion for good measure.
Don't forget about us Alamegans. We have experienced scouts of our own.
Well now, this is turning out to be a rather sizable team. With such numbers, we should be able to cover a wide area with relative ease, including that surrounding the Imperial Palace. How about you, Graha? I have a feeling we'll find a use or two for that vanishing spell of yours.
'Twould be my honor to be of service, though I doubt that you of all people need rely on my tricks.
That leaves us with guard duty.
As a matter of fact, I have something else in mind for the two of you and Alphino. Between here and the center of the capital lies the Eblan Rime. I would have you search the area for survivors. Your keen sense of direction, honed in your extensive travels, should prove useful in navigating the ice fields.
Have I mentioned I'm very bad with maps? If there are any survivors, we will surely find them. Extensive travels is something of an understatement, but I suppose if there's nothing else that needs doing... Ice fields. I love ice fields. Oh wait, no I don't. What an ass of an answer.
I have faith that you will, and look forward to greeting you on your safe return. You all have your duties. Let us make haste. May the Fury bless and keep you.
And also with you. Catholic, sorry. I've never thought myself much of an explorer, though I suppose my adventures have taken me to all sorts of strange and distant places. With that in mind, traversing an ice field should be a simple feat. Is it? Is it though? Famous last words? Alizé. Gods be good, if it's this cold with Tataro's clothing, I dread to think how we'd fare without it. I must remember to thank her when next we meet. It makes me realize, too, that while the people of Garlemald have spent their whole lives in conditions like these, even they'd be hard-pressed to survive away from the warmth of their homes. If there are any survivors, we must find them, and quickly. No! The next quest is from Emily. Alizé. So it's into the Eblan Rime we go. But where do we even start looking in such a place? Looks like our next quest is with our old boy. Right? Considering you always call me old girl. Anyway. I think this is a good place to stop for now. We've been recording for about like 3 hours, 2.5 hours, I think. So maybe we'll cut this here. Apparently, there's going to be a video 7, and this is really kind of a shock to me because I'm like, I didn't expect I'd be making this many. I thought it'd be like 3 videos and done, just like what I did for Shadowbringers, but apparently not. So, anyway, see you around. Bye.